Unlimited! Don't you dare be sour! Clap for your world famous greatest recap show in the world and feel the power. It's the Raw Smackdown Recap. Yes, it is.
Huh. Okay.
As you can see, Brett Lipke is not usually here, but as always, I am Walter Main. This is the fill-in co-host for this week, Peyton Peoples. How you doing, Peyton?
I'm okay. I did absolutely nothing of value there.
And we just got done watching SmackDown. Raw was last night. And let's just head straight into it. The headlines first. Both Money in the Bank matches are set. What do you think of the fields in both of them, Peyton?
Um, I really like the men's. Let me just. Um, yeah, like I really like the men. I think that they've got some good. Um, I think that they've got some. Shut up! I think that they've got some good stuff in there. Um, I like how they've got like a big guy. They've got like Orton, but they've also got a ton of high flyers. Like they got like a powerhouse like Drew. Um, oh, I'm back.
Yeah, I think the field is very balanced on the men's side with power and speed and people that are going to be sneaky. But Peyton, what do you think of the women's side? Okay, Peyton has left to do something. So on the women's side, you've got Bailey, Na- Bailey, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Mandy Rose, Natty Neidhart, Dana Brooke, Carmella, and Ember Moon. I think that's a good balance. I think that'll be a good one. I think we've got a lot of potential in both ladder matches. I think both ladder matches will be really good. I don't think any of the previous winners in either ladder match are going to win. I think we're going to get a new holder for each briefcase.
Anyway, yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. But yeah, like
So, what
I
do you think
like
of the women's field?
let's see, I'm just. I mean, like I it's like half of it I like I feel like Natalia and even like Naomi but it's like I don't know, like Carmella, Mandy Rose, and Dana Brooke just feel like wasted slots. I feel like I would have rather seen like Ruby Riott in there or
Yeah,
like
I
even like
kind of really wish they would have put Ruby in there.
because like Dana Brooke, like it's people and it's just like people just don't care about Dana Brooke. Like it's I don't have anything personal against her or whatever, but it's like there's nothing there.
Right. She hasn't really shown anything, and she's being thrust into this huge spotlight.
Like she's got that like handspring or whatever, which is cool enough, I guess. But I mean, it's like
All that she does on her entrance.
no, she does. So she does like this like front flip or handspring like into a back elbow. But it's like, and she's really like she would have been. She's one of those like that feels like she's someone from like the PG era of divas. When I feel like women's wrestling was at its all time low in the company. So it's just like she feels like one of those Kelly types. It's just like, eh.
Yeah. But early predictions on both ladder matches for you.
Um, I
I think I
I
think I would go Drew and Ember.
yeah, I could see. I'm gonna go Drew and Bailey, but they always tend to kind of like normally in these types of matches in the past few years, it's either like it's either exactly who you expect to win or it's the complete opposite. Like I in 2017, like I feel like everyone was talking, like everything I saw online was like, oh, Corbin's gonna win. Then he won, but last year I thought that like Kevin Owens was, I think, the one that was everybody thought was gonna win.
Yeah.
You know, then like 2016, like everyone knew it was gonna be Ambrose, but 2015, I guarantee you, no one thought Sheamus was gonna win.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
Everyone thought Roman was going to win.
yeah, so you either get get exactly who you think is gonna win, or they just completely throw it in another direction.
Right.
Which is kind of weird because especially I think the biggest case would probably be 2013, where everyone thought that Cody was gonna win,
I don't know if they thought he was going to win headed into it.
but in the match itself, like everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Cody," and then Damien Sandow wanted just like, okay,
Right.
like I like Damien Sandow, but at least with that gimmick, I don't he wasn't world champion material in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
I think those
then,
two are good.
and then next headline, I'd say Miz versus Shane in a cage.
I'm actually a little bit intrigued for this one.
Yeah.
Normally, and I gotta say, normally when they announce cage matches for a pay per view, I'm a little bit like, because it's like one of the like, because like cage matches I feel are like probably the most common like stipulation outside just like a straight up like no holds barred or like no DQ match.
But
So
this one
like,
involves Shane McMahon, and he's probably going to do a coast to coast from the top of the cage.
and this feels like a really personal feud at this point. So like I feel like the cage is justified in this situation, you know. Um,
And chances that Shane jumps off the cage.
I'd be shocked if he didn't. But I don't know. I'm really enjoying this Miz and Shane, and I'm really enjoying this
Yeah.
matchup. Like, and like I said, you know, it's like you and among like a lot of other people didn't really believe that Miz could be a great babyface just because like
Yeah,
he's
and
so
I was
over.
wrong.
Yeah, and like it's really cool to see him just how well he's adapting to it. Like he at this point, you know, like he said in his promo I think last week, or you know, like he's a father now. Like he's a lot more mature, a lot older, a lot wiser now. Like he wants to, he loves the WWE universe and he wants to be like a respectable man. Like, and I like because like he wants to be someone now that like his daughter can look up to and be proud of, not like some sniveling little weasel. Like now, like his daughter, her dad is like a guy who's a good guy. Like he's a man. Like he,
Right.
you know. So I really love Miz and I like Shane. I think that Shane when he came back, like everyone loved him, and but I feel like he kind of was wearing sin on the baby face. Like he was kind of getting to the point where like, all right, we like Shane, but it's like it's a little bit much. So you know, ever since turning heel, it's a breath of fresh air for him.
And I'd say the third and really final headline, because not much really happened this week. Uh, the Hardys have to vacate the tag titles.
Yeah, that just the SmackDown tag division is like they're gonna have to like get a plan together because the B team, the Singh brothers, and they're Collins, they're
Colognes.
yeah, they've been jobbers for like ever. Um, and then like after that, you got Nakamura and Rusev. Which I mean, I would be fine with them winning the championships, but it's like, who is there for them to feud with?
Exactly.
I think that they're probably gonna need to. Maybe I could see them putting like Ali with another kind of plucky baby face to buff up. Like I think that we're probably going to get a couple of single stars. Like I could see Chad Gable doing another tag team or something like
Ooh,
that.
imagine Chad Gable and Ali.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. And Gable's the kind of guy that he's like, yeah, he really reminds me of Edge in the sense to where like you can just throw him in a tag team with pretty much anyone, and he just meshes with them. Like he was awesome. It was like how they paired like Edge and Rey Mysterio together, and it was like a weird combination, but it worked, and they came with a bunch of cool moves. That's what I feel like when they did Rude and Gable. Like it was an odd combination, but they just developed really good chemistry together and had some pretty cool moves, and ended up being just really enjoyable. So, I think Gable might do something like that. You also got like Apollo. You got all kinds of dudes. So I mean, this could be.
Yeah,
I think this could be a good opportunity to get like some of the lesser, like the guy that don't get as much TV time or shine, a little bit of an opportunity.
yeah, totally agree there. So, with headlines out of the way, straight on to our stars of the week.
Oh, well, I want to mention just one more headline, and just
Okay.
I just want to like just kind of delve into. I really like the Styles and Rollins segment last night. Like I really thought that I like the
Yeah.
story of how Styles is like saying, it's like Rollins is kind of getting compared to, and I've seen the comparisons, and I feel like Rollins really has that, because Rollins really had that like HBK vibe that like AJ Styles also has, and I'm not saying that they're like HBK, but I'm like HBK was like the exception to the rule that the like little guy couldn't be a top
Right.
champion, you know. Because like
Yeah.
Ray and Brian, like they either got injured or they just weren't always believable as champion. Whatever. Like same with like Hardy or whatever. Shawn Michaels held the belt for like 6-7 months, and he main evented like 5 WrestleManias. So Styles and Rollins to me both have that. They're
Yeah.
not the biggest, but like they're lean. They're very strong for their size. Very athletic, very agile, just great all around workers.
Right.
And this is and I feel like this is probably the dream match. I guess maybe outside of Styles versus Nakamura, but at least for me, like
Yeah.
this is the match people have been talking about Styles having since like he debuted. Like it was, we need Styles versus Rollins, and I think I mentioned it last week. I'm not too crazy about them pulling the trigger this soon, but they always do kind of try to make Money in the Bank feel like a big event,
And
and
I think I
with them
think
going
there's
head to sorry,
I th-
with them
I
going
think
head to head.
they're especially doing it because of two things. One, same month as Double or Nothing, and I think they're aware
Mm-hmm,
of how big of a deal that is.
mm-hmm.
And two, same night as the Game of Thrones finale.
Yeah, so that's like they're doing and so yeah, it looks like they're really building this card up, and I'm fine with. But yeah, like I like this segment. It gave us what we needed.
Yeah.
It's a classic. It's like two baby faces that like respect each other, but not to the point to where like they're very. And that's one of the things I like about Styles is that even when he's a babyface, like he's big on respect, but it's like
He'll
he,
still
he
fight.
yeah, like he's always down to throw a punch. Like he's not gonna
Right.
like he and Ron's kind of the same way. Like they're not there to make friends. That's what I thought, and I think that this is really gonna be a great match. Like this is the match that has insanely high expectations.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think it'll meet him.
yeah, and then just moving on real quick to Brian and or not Brian, Kofi and Owens. I love this week because the one thing I was kind of worried about was that Kofi was going to be too kind of silly and goofy as champion or whatever. Because like they showed him one week, like he's still out there kind of being like, oh, throwing the pancake around, like just like, oh, you got to eat all these pancakes. Like, all right, that I get that that's the thing, but like this week, like he just came out, he hit Owens with that massive clothesline off the steps, and just like he wasted no time to like get his hands on Owens, and then
Yeah,
like threw the
that
chair on him. Like he
yeah, that
looked he looked really good, and Owens at the beginning of the show he cut a promo on Kofi. I know you didn't watch the beginning of the show, um, but yeah, like Owens was saying, like like you had this moment, but like these people don't believe that you championship material. Like like you're in over your head, you're drowning. And I've seen some things, as much as like we all love Kofi winning, like a lot of people have been kind of going like, well, can he run with the ball? Like, is he going to be a believable champion, or is he just going to be like, oh, the underdog gets the victory, like we've seen so many times before? So
Yeah, and I think Money in the Bank will be his first test. Like if he can hang in a main event scene with a guy like Owens.
yeah, and so yeah, just overall, really like I'm really digging the build up for the title matches, and also the women's title matches too. I'm really,
Yeah,
I think Lacey Evans is really I feel like Lacey Evans has really kind of proven that she can hang in there.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and one thing I was kind of noticing between Becky Lynch and Bailey, and if you get a chance, watch that match tonight. But um, it seemed like Becky is kind of like of the four horsemen with NXT. Like she's not bad in the ring, but of those four, I think she definitely lacked in the terms of in ring work. She's still a good wrestler, but it's like she like she doesn't really have a very defined move set. Like she doesn't do
She's very technical.
yeah, like but it's like and that's and as much as I love Becky Lynch, for her moves, like her signature is just like that exploder or pump handle slam, whatever. Like it's
Yeah,
just, I wish that she would kind of get like maybe a more like it always helps because like Charlotte has a figure eight, but she also has, the
the spear, the
natural
moonsault,
selection, and then like yeah, and she had that great spear, like Bailey has Bailey play or
Bailey to
Bailey
belly.
belly, but she also had that elbow drop. But she's also got a ton of cool moves like she'll do like the drop kick through the ropes. She'll do that sunset flip into the corner, which I love.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love Becky, but I would like to see her maybe get like a secondary finisher or something like that, or maybe just like a few more moves in her mat to make you go like, oh, okay, that's cool.
yeah. All right, on to stars of the week.
All right.
My first star of the week, I think I'm going to give it to Kevin Owens. I thought he was incredibly effective in the short time he was given this week. Build up the match, get everyone against him and for Kofi. I think he did his job brilliantly, and I thought the KO show segment was fantastic.
Um. Yeah, I gotta say this week, I don't. There's not really anyone who particularly like blew my mind per se or whatever. Like I felt like everyone was just kind of more or less like they just do whatever they did on the So I had to say I would actually give my star of the week to maybe Lars Sullivan. Actually, I really liked his segment where he came out and like he attacked Matt Hardy. Like R-Truth hits him in the back with a steel chair and he doesn't even flinch. Then he just like lays out Truth, and I like how and like when they build up monsters like him in the past, like they're always facing jobbers. Like he's already taken out like Rey Mysterio. He's already taken out Kurt Angle. He's already taken out the Hardy Boys. He's destroyed like R-Truth. Like he just massacred Chad Gable and Jinder Mahal last week. Like it feels like he's legitimately going after like guys who have a big legacy at least in professional wrestling. Like, and even with someone like Jinder Mahal who's like a former WWE champion.
Yeah.
So, I'm and he's different than most big men because like if you like read him on social media or whatever, like he's articulate, he's kind of funny, he's kind of an
He's
athlete.
super smart.
He's got a personality though.
Yeah.
He's not just like, oh, I'm a big guy that likes destroying stuff. That's what makes Strowman so great too. Is that like Strowman's got a sense of humor. He's got a personality.
Yeah.
So
For
yeah,
for my second star, I think I'm going to give it to the combination of Styles and Rollins. I thought their segment was fantastic. I thought they both did a great job in their individual promos, and I thought the brawl afterwards was really good too.
Yeah, I'd probably give I'd probably give it more to Styles and Rollins because like Styles just really he cut maybe one of the best promos he's cut since like debuted because like he's gotten a lot better on the mic since joining WWE like and I guess like him being WWE champion for like a year kind of forced him to do that.
Yeah.
Because like I would not say that Styles was a guy that was known for his excellent promo ability, but like
No,
in
he was rather weak.
but in the past couple of months, like and especially with that Randy Orton feud, he's really stepped up his game on the mic, and I like this thing of he's this guy who's a veteran, like he's an old dog, like he still has some left in the tank, but like he realizes, I gotta I don't have forever left. I'm not gonna be able to wrestle forever. I've got a limited amount of time. So I'm gonna do what I need to do with it. So I'm gonna go to Raw and go after the Universal Championship and go after the titles I haven't held yet.
Yeah.
So I really like this as like I may be like a little bit older. I may be a little bit I've been around the block a few times, but I'm still like the best, arguably the best wrestler on the planet, and like I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna take that title. So I really liked him this week. I thought it was good. Really build up excitement for the match.
Yeah. And for my third and final star, I'll give it to Kofi.
Yeah, I'll give
I
it to Kofi.
thought Kofi, in the little spurts he was given, did really well. I really liked him attacking Owens at the end. Just really good stuff.
Yeah, I'll probably give it to Kofi.
Okay.
And I thought that him and Owens really, and I'd give an honorable mention to Owens, and then yeah, I was gotta say I'm really liking this Bray Wyatt like Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah, it haunts me every moment
It,
of my
it
waking day.
it's unsettling, but it's unsettling, but it's funny, and he makes it work. But it's like sociopath isn't that the word of the day? And he's spelling out sociopath like he's Mr. Rogers or Bob Ross. Just like the special effects, like the just eerie feeling of it. It's just
The
it's very
painting
entertaining.
and the screams.
Yeah, I'm just the only thing I'm concerned is though, like, how are they? Like, it's funny as hell to watch, but
How
it's
is it
like,
going to translate to an in-ring thing?
yeah, like how is this gonna like translate to him having matches and feuds? So I think that's just
Yeah. Um. All right. On to our second to last segment, which is great, good, bad, and ugly. Or for my great, I'll give it to the Styles and Rollins segment.
yeah, I'll give it to that was probably, and then I'd say yeah, I'll give it to that. That was probably the best
Yeah.
thing on.
For my good, I'll go with the main event of SmackDown, like that main event
Yeah,
segment as a
yeah.
whole. For my bad, Carmella's promo was pretty cringy.
For bad I gotta give it to the Usos revival, like the back shaving thing. Like it just felt like a little bit too much. Like just felt a little bit too like bad Attitude Era. It
Yeah,
feel like it was a bad segment from the Attitude Era.
yeah. And my ugly, I'm going to give my ugly to the fact that they had a match on Raw where the focal point was shoes.
Yeah, that I don't care about all that. I'd probably give the ugly to just like what the it was like Dana Brooke just came out and cut a promo, and then it was like somebody else came out and cut a promo that was equally as bad. Hold on, let me just. I'm trying.
Yeah, that whole back and forth was really catty, really.
Yeah, Natalia and Dana Brooke, like it's just like Natalia is not good on the mic, and like I said, Dana Brooke just has no personality. It's like,
Right.
but it's like I'm here to fight for my shot. Like, what do you think everyone else in this company is doing? Like, do you think
Exactly.
it's fun and like it's a cliche like story or whatever, a cliche selling point, but it's like because Gargano basically did like I'm here I'm here to fight for my dreams. I don't want that title. Everyone else on the roster want that title too, but he was like such a believable and lovable character,
Yeah.
So it's like with Dana Brooke is just like we don't care. Like half the people in the half of the people thought that she was just fired before she came back on like with that Rowdy thing a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. And on to the final segment, which is our letter grades for Raw. I'm going to give it a D. Nothing really happened. They had some kind of crappy stuff. Just the only thing that keeps it even floating towards a passing grade is the final segment, in my opinion.
I'll probably go with like a C minus or something like that, just because I thought that there was still some pretty good stuff on there. I saw that like the Usos and the Gallows and Anderson match was pretty good. The opening segment was fun. There was a decent tag match. Um, and the I give it about a C. Just it was pretty
Yeah.
average with like a strong closer. And then for SmackDown, I'll probably give it like uh B minus. It was fine, but um
Just nothing really
yeah. I thought
happened.
I saw
So
Joe and Ray. I saw Joe and Ray was pretty good too, and I saw that
yeah.
Joe's promo that he cut.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
But for SmackDown, I'll give it a C plus.
yeah, I saw it. And it's kind of unfortunate because I feel like for the most part, Raw and SmackDown, and especially Raw, has been more enjoyable this year than it has been in a while. Like they've had some legitimately great episodes this year, especially last week's. I thought was really good, and the one that I
Yeah.
attended live, where like Roman announced he was like leukemia free. That was a really great Raw. There's been like a ton of great matches on Raw this year. We've gotten a ton of like good moments. They're taking steps in the right direction.
But
At the same
then,
time, it's
like, stuff like this week will happen, and it's like, oh, okay, they just took, like, a handful of steps back.
it's like, and it's like that the stuff like the shaving of the back shit, like that's Vince, like that's Vince and Kevin Dunn because nobody else in their right mind, like Triple H, like if you look at NXT and look at the main roster, all the great stuff definitely looks like it's focused like with Triple H's input, and all like the absurd shit. It's just like Vince, and like it's crazy because Vince is like one of those guys that when he gets it right, he creates some of the most iconic, if not the most iconic moment in pro wrestling history. But he gives us such a mixed bag.
Yeah.
It's so it's like nobody wants these dumbass segments except maybe like the smallest of little kids. But it's like it just feels like weak mid card stuff that's like it's more frustrating than anything because
Oh,
that
yeah.
be
It's
something.
incredibly frustrating.
You know,
And with
but
that,
yeah, so
not much else to talk about. So we will wrap this up. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow Unlimited on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Follow Matt Maffey on Twitter. Follow Brett Litke on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram and Twitch. All those links down in the description box below. Until next time, I will see you later.
don't
Thank
follow
you
me
for
on
joining.
Twitter. It's just porn.
Thank you for
Goodbye.
joining me, Peyton.